Capacitors and its types. Hello friends, in this video I will talk about the basic of capacitor, what is capacitor and what are its types along with their applications. Capacitor. The term capacitor suggests the idea of capacity, which means ability to hold something. That's what exactly a capacitor does. It holds the electric charges. It consists of two conductive plates separated by a dielectric medium. Dielectric here is nothing but an insulator that can be polarized, that is, a positive and negative charges on the opposite faces can be formed. When a voltage is applied across these two plates, the current flows through the conductive plate. One side gets positively charged and the other side gets negatively charged. Since these plates are oppositely charged, the charges on the plate attract. Hence, there is a retention and a storage of charges. Different types of capacitors are classified on the basis of size, shapes, and the materials. Two main types of capacitors are fixed capacitors and variable capacitors. Fixed capacitor, as the name suggests, has a fixed capacitance value that cannot be changed. Fixed capacitors can be further divided into two types: polar capacitors and non-polar capacitors. Polar capacitors are the types of capacitors whose terminal have polarity, positive and negative. The positive terminal of the polar capacitor should be connected to the positive of supply and negative to the negative of supply. Reversing the polarity will destroy the capacitor. These type of capacitors are only used in DC applications. Polar capacitors are further classified into two types: electrolyte capacitors and supercapacitors. The electrolyte capacitor is a type of polar capacitor that uses the electrolyte as one of the electrode to maintain heavy charge storage. The electrolytes can be solid, liquid, or gas type material. Such types of capacitors have high capacitance values ranging from 1 microfarad to 47,000 microfarad, and they are only used in DC circuits. Supercapacitors. A supercapacitor is also known as ultracapacitor or a supercap. These type of capacitors can deliver charges much faster than a battery and store charge more than an electrolyte capacitor per volume. Its capacitance ranges from 100 farad to 12,000 farad with a low voltage rating approximately equal to 2.5 to 2.7 volt. Modern technology has so many applications of the supercapacitors. They are used in LED flashlights, in digital cameras, for stabilizing power supply in laptops and handheld devices. Also in UPS, where it replaces electrolyte capacitor banks. Non-polar capacitors are such types of capacitors whose terminals have no fixed polarity. They can be used either way in a circuit. Due to its non-polarized terminals, they are used in DC circuits as well as in AC circuits. They are cheaper than polar capacitors but have low capacitance value and high range of voltage ratings from a few volts to thousands of volts. Non-polar capacitors are classified as ceramic capacitors, mica capacitor, and film capacitors. Ceramic capacitor. It is made up of two layers of metal, usually nickel and copper, with a ceramic, paraelectric or ferroelectric as a dielectric. These alternating layers are stacked together to provide high capacitance value. The minimum thickness of ceramic dielectric layer is about 0.5 micrometer, and the voltage rating of capacitor depends on its dielectric strength. These type of capacitors are used in resonant circuits, coupling, decoupling, and bypass application of capacitances. Mica capacitors uses mica as a dielectric material. They are very stable and have low losses. It can operate on a heavy voltage rating from 100 volt to 10 kilovolt with a capacitance ranging from 47 picofarad to 3000 picofarad. Due to its high voltage and power handling capabilities, they are used in RF broadcast transmitters, amplifiers, high voltage inverters, and resonance circuits. Film capacitors. Film capacitors uses film or usually a plastic or something paper as a dielectric. Some applications of these type of capacitor includes high power induction heating and low power applications such as sample and hold and VCO circuits. They are also used as AC motor run capacitor and power factor correction capacitors. Variable capacitors are the capacitors whose value can be either mechanically or electrically changed. They don't have fixed capacitance value, instead they provide a range of values. They are used in tuning LC circuits of our radio receivers, impedance matching of antennas. Stay tuned to our channel for more topics like this. You can also visit our website easyelectronics.co.in